So, our Canvas site. CHM130, that's our section number. You will more than likely see this kind of announcement tab. So if we click that, we've got two announcements. The very first quiz and dialogue. So quiz number 2, I wanted an email with that subject line, DFA17 CHM130, and then in your text should have been answers to those questions. I got lots of responses. I have not gone back to figure out how many responses I got, so I can't say that everybody's done that. If you haven't done that, do it. That's why the announcement's there. Okay? So just send me that email. I got lots of people sending me email through Canvas. If through Canvas, that's fine. I will filter that appropriately once it makes it into my inbox in Gmail, but you don't get an automatic response. Somebody who sent me through an email, did you get an automatic response?
Yes.
Yes. Something finally worked. Okay? So you should get that automatic response. Canvas won't give it to you because of how it's getting routed. Okay? Do that because it's not just a dialogue. That is a quiz. That is points that go into your assignments or quiz category, whatever that is. So do it. Okay? That's probably the easiest quiz you'll have all semester. The other announcement, which is the one I was alluding to, the technology dislike, or if you just feel like you should be learning in the class, you will learn in the class. The technology is not there to prevent you from learning in the class. If you're concerned about any of that, doing the online videos or finding that online content, then you need to talk to me. By the end of this week, those last 2 questions are the big ones. Okay? Are you excellent at your reading comprehension? And you're confident that you don't need free points. I have maybe seen 2 students every semester that are confident they don't need free points. Everybody else does. Okay? I'm not saying you're not one of those 2 students, but I know I wouldn't risk it. That's just me. Okay, where do we say next? So that's our general flow. We've got a question here.
The videos are on PlayPosit.
The videos are on PlayPosit. They will be linked from Canvas. So Canvas will be your repository of all that information, and it will take you out to those varying sites, which we should see if I haven't hidden everything.
And there's a video for every reading assignment?
No. Some of the reading assignments are just reading. Some of them are actual videos. So when you open up the assignment, it says, use this video.
Okay. And then we get points just for watching that video? Or
You get points pretty much for just watching that video. Okay? That said, there's proof that you've watched it because the only way you can advance past certain points in the video is answering a question. Okay? You should be answering those questions as accurately as possible because your grade is dependent on those, but very slightly. Okay? And we'll look at that too on how that's graded within PlayPosit. Other questions? What was my next thing? Assignments. So if we click on assignments, right now, because I'm in student view and as a student I haven't entered anything into my assignments, I have 2 overdue assignments, reading 1.1 and reading 1.2. Reading 1 because it's week 1. 1, or the point 1 and the point 2 for the day. Class 1, class 2 of that week, Tuesday or Thursday. Okay? So in the student view, this is what you should see if you haven't done anything as far as the assignments go. Okay? Because there's only 2 assignments that would technically be overdue at this point. Yes?
So I submitted 1.1 immediately after the class.
That's fine.
And it came in as late.
It will come in as late because it's officially due at 10 a.m. Okay? Before you knew the assignment was there. So let's take a look at what reading 1.1 is. It says to go through and read those sections. Yes. But then it also says, should you really be doing an assignment on day 1? Okay? Don't worry about it. I can't scroll on my thing. Why'd you do that? Don't worry about it. Just do the reading and ignore this first homework assignment. I'll give everyone full credit for it. Probably in a couple weeks. Okay? I'm hoping to actually go through and do it all this week so you guys have an idea on what's happening within it. Okay? So if you submit to it, that's fine. Don't stress about it. You also now know what it looks like to be late with an assignment. Okay? How do you submit? Okay? This is something that Canvas isn't super obvious with, but in the upper right-hand corner, what do we see? A submit button. So if we push the submit button, it opens up, it's not really a tab, but it opens up a new section where you can upload a file. So you could type something up, upload that file as a document, and submit the assignment here. Okay? That's fine. I would argue, at least from my point of view, because it's easier for me to grade, is the text entry. If you want a file upload because that's easier for you, that's fine. Okay? The text entry, you click the text entry, you move down here, and you would enter in your information on what you read. Okay? Since I know you read, what'd you read?
I read chapters 1 and 3.
Okay, in chapter 1, what did you pick up out of it? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Just an introduction to the scientific method and 3 sentences on who the father of chemistry is in the chemistry book seemed.
Was about the introduction of chemistry and scientific method. Cool, you've now summarized what you've read, but you haven't really proven anything. Does the scientific method have different parts?
Sure.
Yeah. What's one of those parts?
Observation.
Observation is somebody else. What is observation? I technically, yeah, I think you would get away with that. Is the first step of scientific method. I'm sure there's typos in there, but they shouldn't be too bad. Don't worry about them. Okay, observation is the first step of the scientific method. Looking and noting a change. Not only have you proven what you've read, because that was stuff in the text. Actually, not even, it's not a not even. That's it. That's all I want. Done. Submit assignment. That's it. Done. Okay? I'm not looking for a lot.
That differs greatly from another file you have in there on recommended things to do
So,
for these
okay,
chapters.
so tell me where we go. Files, I'm going to guess syllabus.
Yeah, that's it's all over the place.
Because I'm pretty sure the only thing I've got for reading assignments is in the syllabus here. Reading. Students will need to read and assign text. The assigned text and submit via Canvas a brief summary of the assigned content and submit online to Canvas.
Yeah. There's another file in here that breaks it down for each chapter, what you want done for each chapter as far as the writing assignment or the do-outs for each chapter.
So the do-outs, the solves, is a separate issue. And you're right. The solves are separate. That's why when we look at the assignment, under our assignment categories, we have 2 items for our homework. Reading assignments and problem solves. The problem solves are significantly more. Because what am I looking for in the problem solves?
Work shown.
You solving a problem. That's work shown. Okay? In the reading part, you don't even have to understand. What I want you to do is have seen the words, process some of that knowledge so that when you come to class, you can talk about it and be like, I didn't understand what observation was. Be like, let's look through some examples. Okay? If you don't do that reading, you come to class and you're like, well, I don't understand anything he's talking about. That defeats the purpose of the class. Okay? It is not my job to take all of my knowledge and put it in your brain. That's not going to work for 16 weeks. That's probably not even going to work in a lifetime. Okay? My job is to help you find where your weaknesses are and improve those weaknesses. Okay? And improve means make them less weak in that respect. Yes?
I've got 2 questions. So
Yes.
the first one, when we're summarizing what we read, can we use bullet points for that?
Bullet points. And so that's the other thing. In the reading assignments, you've got a lot of realm or a lot of range on what you can do. What I provided was the cutoff bare minimum. You gave me a definition of a word that was in the reading assignment. You've at least proven that you've opened the textbook theoretically, and you at least scanned through for a bolded word and wrote down the definition. Believe it or not, those two steps in courses where we don't do reading assignments, students don't do. This is about trying to improve everyone. There are some students that already do this. These assignments aren't directed at you. Okay? Theoretically, where you're at is above the community college. That's good. You should be happy for that. But what we're trying to do is provide the baseline so that everybody can advance, even the people that don't have that experience or those learning abilities yet. Make sense? Yes?
When you do the free text option,
Yes.
versus uploading a document, is there a way to access what you've already submitted? Like an archive?
That's a good question. In
Because I've never
student
done that. I've always
food,
just done a Word document and attached it.
let's see.
Top right of like the assignment,
Okay.
and you can like click view.
Oh, and now it's no longer, there it is. So now it's a past assignment, because now what you're looking at is the student thing.
Right.
You've got to resubmit submission details.
Yep.
Ta-da! Hey, look at that. There it is.
Thank you.
So you have access to that. I have had students for every reading assignment go through and do a full outline and upload 4 or 5 pages of text. If that helps you, which it will, do it. Okay? That's already, you're doing your job as a student. I just want you to prove it. That's all the reading assignment is. Prove that you are being a student. Okay? Here's points. That's it. The problem solves are a little bit more difficult. So when we go back into our assignments, let's take a look at what's going on with our problem solves, which would be due next Friday. What are our directions for problem solves 1? Any 20 questions. Okay? Right out of the gate, you can pick any 20 questions you want. Okay? They should be relevant to the lecture topic. Why should they be relevant to the lecture topic? I see hands, let me at least get through this. Why should they be relevant to the lecture topic? So you learn about the topic because where are you ultimately going to go? To an exam that is now testing you on this. By picking questions that are on the current topic, you are now preparing for the exam. Okay? Why any 20 questions? Some of you are excellent at reading comprehension. You read the passage where Thomson discovered the electron, boom, it's in your brain. Some of you aren't. Okay? So for those of you that are having trouble remembering things, you need to write more. Those of you that don't have trouble remembering things, you'll end up finding that you're going to have some redundancies. Okay? But nobody will be perfect at this course. Why will nobody be perfect at this course?
We're not chemists.
You're not chemists? Take it a step further. If you were going to be perfect at this course, why the hell are you in it? We do run into issues there. And that becomes with the education system. Okay? So to a certain extent, if you have leveled out of it, any course is going to be redundant and you should complain to your administrators. I'm not an administrator. I think it is silly to force people into classes that they have the content knowledge for already. Okay? There isn't an easy way to do that, though. And that's why administration forces you into it. Okay? For this particular section, notice I also note there's very little work to show for this. Why? Well, it's observation. It's the scientific method. Observation is what? Okay, well, it's the ability to look at things and take notes. What's your work? Literally, I don't know. I don't know what you write for your work, except maybe a sentence saying what observation is. Okay? And with this first problem solve, that's what it's going to come down to. You want to show as much work as possible. And so we did talk about the multiple choice question, right? Yes, good. And that is, I believe, what you were referencing when you said all the content that needs to go with your questions. That's showing your work. Okay? That had nothing to do with the reading assignment, that's problem solves. So the amount of detail that goes into your problem solves should be increased. For this assignment, there's not a whole lot of work to show. I'm pointing that out. Okay? I'm calling attention to that. There isn't a whole lot you can do with that. Do the best you can. Okay? Because how does it get graded? Did you give me 20 questions? Does it look like you at least attempted everything? Good, full points. Okay? Again, an opportunity to get full points. These are not getting graded and returned because I don't have time for that. Okay? What I have time for is building an exam and grading the exam immediately to get it back to you. Okay? We could remove all of this and go straight to the exams. The average on the exams is 60%. And for those of you going, well, that's a failing grade, no, that is not a failing grade. If the average is a 60%, guess what grade that is? That's a C by definition, okay? Because C is average. Period. That's what it is. That's what it means. Because the state of Arizona and its education system has told you 90, 80, 70, that's what you've remembered and focused on, it's a load of complete and utter BS. Okay? Sorry, it is. And we can talk about that more if you'd want after class, but it's not relevant for here. Possible sources for questions. I've had students kind of freak out. I have too much opportunity to answer questions. Okay. Exam number 1. Open it up. Okay. Have we covered all the content in exam number 1? No. That's why exam number 1 is in 4th week, not in 2nd week. But will we have covered content that is in that exam? Yes. Answer those questions. So, well, how do I know which questions I'm supposed to answer? Well, because what did you do? All the reading assignments, you watched the lectures, you participated in lecture, and you recognized the content that's important. Okay? The content that you should know. That is a difficult process to learn. That's why you need to learn it now. If that's still too much free rein, guess what? We've got a suggested homework document. That's going to be a bit irritating because in the suggested homework document for that chapter, you'll find there really isn't anything for chapter 1 because all I'm telling you to do is write down definitions. Because that's all there is in chapter 1. Okay? Any online resource, any other textbook. What this is going to boil down to is problem solve number 1. You can do pretty much anything related to chemistry, you're golden. Problem solve 2 gets a little bit more dicey. You have to be a little bit more narrower in your restrictions. 3 and 4, okay? Again, get narrower. You have to actually start doing legitimate chemistry things. Still a little bit less on the work. 5 and on, almost every single one of those, 5, 6, 7, and 8, are all show your work. You will be doing lots and lots of calculations. Okay? And that's where the work really comes into play. Am I the only one that thinks this room is really hot? Okay. It's really hot. Good. Anybody else have questions on that?
All right, so
Yeah.
can I substitute the word any with create?
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking
Oh, yeah. If you want to create 20 questions, that is like three
So
tiers.
the confusion I was having is problem solves 1, it's the words say any 20 questions.
Yep.
What it doesn't say is from where. Are these 20 questions that I need to
Relevant to the chemistry lecture topics. It does say, okay? Possible sources of those questions would be the suggested homework. The suggested homework lists questions for individual chapters. We have a schedule that shows what we're talking about in each lecture, reference back to that to come up with the questions.
So we are gathering 20 questions from multiple resources.
If you need multiple resources, yes.
I was confused by the same thing.
Yeah.
It didn't make a lot of sense. Like, am I supposed to just come up with random 20 questions in my head? based
Relevant
on
to
the
chemistry
assignment?
content.
Well, yeah, based on.
Answer any
relevant.
20 questions. So maybe I could add the word answer. Answer any 20 questions. Where you find those 20 questions is up to you. Okay.
As long as it's
That's
relevant to
clear.
the chemistry.
Okay. Okay, I can add that. So I will add the word answer 20 questions relevant to the topic at hand. The only thing that's missing there is answer. Yes, I will add that. I will try and clarify it, yes.
Do you recommend that we do one or the other first, or does it not matter?
It does not matter. Some people like to go through and do exam 1 straight out of the gate and do everything in exam 1. That's really hard to do because we haven't covered all that content. Does it force you to go to the textbook and review that content? Yes. Okay, it sets you up further on down the line. You're preparing in advance. Okay? Bite-sized chunks, that's where to find example questions. How would you, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, I'll ask it.
Okay. How would you then submit that assignment? Because the problem solves are due when? 5 p.m., September 1st. For those of us paying attention or happen to know calendars and math and all that, not me, but I happen to know when I just set it to be due. September 1st is Friday. Do we meet September 1st? No. So how do you get the homework to me?
The large submit assignment button?
You can go to the large submit assignment button. Okay? You will likely only want to file upload. Why? Because eventually you're going to be doing work. Does anybody want to go into Word and type in equations? Okay, if you do, talk to me after class, so we'll set something else up. Okay? So what you will do, okay, is write out your work. Everybody have a camera phone or access to a camera phone? Take a picture of it. You now have a file. Upload that file. Or scan it. Okay? Both of those work lovely. You don't want to do that, you don't have access to a camera phone, that makes things a little bit more difficult. Number one, I'm on campus most Fridays. Set up an appointment to meet me before 5 p.m. Friday. Or two, turn it in Wednesday. Thursday, what day are we? Wednesday. Turn it in Wednesday. Just come up here, give it to me, there it is. I've got the paper copy, you don't have to do anything else. I enter it, you're done. You could do that for the reading as well. Yeah, if you want to handwrite your reading stuff, that's fine too.
Are we allowed to, for the first one, just use Word, or would you suggest just do the handwritten one to start with?
I don't like typing in things. If you want to use Word, that's fine. Yeah, I would just handwrite it. Okay. Does that clarify our assignments? So we're good on the problem solves. We're good on submitting the problem solves. We're good on submitting the reading assignments.
Can we use questions from the chapter self-test?
Yes. There is the chapter self-test. For whatever reason, when I made the suggested homework doc, I didn't look at the chapter self-test. I don't know why. Okay, but I didn't. If you look at that document, it lists just questions. It says for this section, Dalton, answer question 1. Well, where's question 1? Go to the back of every chapter, guess what you find? Questions. Okay? The first question happens to be question 1. That's the first question you would answer. Okay? Why do I say the word Dalton? So that if you aren't using this textbook, you can find a different textbook that mentions Dalton and answer a question about Dalton.
When we answer the questions, do you want us to write out the question?
Do not write out the question unless you really want to. What I would try and do is incorporate in your answer aspects of that question. Who was the first person to discover an electron? J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson was the first person to discover an electron. Okay? I would take it a step further, not just answering the bare minimum, but J.J. Thomson was the first one to discover an electron by using a cathode ray tube. Okay? That adds a little bit more context on your part. It does nothing to your grade. If you just say J.J. Thomson, it's an answer. So guess what that means?
Points.
You get the points. But it doesn't help you. Okay? Homework is about helping you, not me. Does that make sense? That said, please do write in English. Because I do need to be able to grade it. Okay? So, we good on assignments? Okay? And absolute worst case, you may still be like, oh, I don't know. There is this fascinating person. I think he's not too much of a jerk, and he responds to emails sometimes. I think if you enter in michael.mcfavlin@cgc.edu and say, dude, I don't know what to do for homework, I'll be like, this is what you do. I will pick questions for you. Okay? Those questions, again, may not be helpful for you Because those may not be your weaknesses. You are trying to find your weaknesses. Why do you want to find your weaknesses now?
So you don't discover them on your
So
final.
you don't discover them on the exam. That's why. Okay? Really not too bad. Canvas grades. To get grades, we would then click on, yes, leave the page. I don't want to submit something. Click on grades. It will show all the grades. Okay? Notice it says late and missing. Okay? Because, well, both those assignments were already due. Okay? If you see that, fix those immediately. Submit something. Okay? Because you get late points for submitting. Okay? Notice we have a bunch of other assignments listed out here. We should see all the assignments that are published on Canvas. Currently, those are the only ones that are published. Published out the second week because I was confident or somewhat confident that those were okay. Okay? After that, I've got to make sure I proofread them clearly a lot more carefully. Okay? Syllabus quiz just got reopened, so you should have 2 attempts. If you've already attempted it, you should be able to go back in and attempt it again, which is cool for you because guess what you now know? You know all the answers, so fix it. Okay? The other part, whoops, sorry, was there a question there? No?
No.
Okay. Files. I tried to keep the folder names as obvious as possible. Okay. The first things we need to be concerned about would be the syllabus stuff because, well, that's the first thing we look at. Are we looking at exams yet? Not necessarily, so don't worry about that folder. Lectures. That might be relevant, so we could go to lectures if I tapped properly. And we've got a folder for online lectures. Have we talked about any online lectures yet? No. So what should you do with that folder? Ignore it. Okay? Unit 1, syllabus atoms, PPPT, whatever those letters are for PowerPoints. Okay? That will open up that file. You can download it. You now have all of the PowerPoint slides. Are there quizzes in the PowerPoint slides? Yes. Okay? You get exactly what I've got. Okay? So if you have the PowerPoint slides, you can read ahead and be like, Mike's going to give a quiz that day. And those are all the questions he's going to ask. I'm going to make sure I know all those answers. Good. Do that. You get full points on the quiz. Okay? That's why they're there. Helpful files. This is really just kind of a folder for dumping things. Scheduling, that was that document that we played with, the scheduling things. Okay? All the times and days of the week. So if you wanted that, there it is. Homework suggested. The file needs to be there for you to be able to get access to it. That's where it's stashed. Elements for memory. We haven't talked about that yet, which means don't stress about it yet. In theory, we'll get to that today, but we'll see where we go. Writing assignment. We've got a bunch of examples of documents. Okay? We talked about some of those details. Let's see, I think I even have the directions down at the bottom of this. Writing assignment .doc giving you the directions to it. Okay?
That's the one that's due at the end of the semester, right?
That's the one that's due at the end of the semester. Okay? That document breaks down, just like in the PowerPoint slides, the individual assignments and when they're due. Week 2, week 6, week, I don't know, eventually 16. Okay? The first due date is important, okay? Because that's what are you researching. Okay? That's a really hard due date. All you have to do is write your name on a sheet of paper. That's it. You don't do anything on Canvas, though Canvas will get all annoying and you didn't submit this. It's submitted on paper. I have to go back into Canvas and enter it. Okay? If you want examples of those other documents, that's all the different examples that I've got listed up there. Okay, the last one. Oh, don't you dare. Modules. Unit 1, supplemental and required materials for Unit 1. So that very first thing is a pre-lecture preparatory video Really all that is a text thing saying, this is what these are. This is how you register for the account. This is how you get into PlayPosit. Okay? Follow those directions, you should be set. If you've got problems, contact me. PlayPosit has been doing some weird stuff. I need to know about it. You don't tell me, I can't fix it. Okay? Register for it, you're good to go. And for whatever reason, Canvas decides to take you away from the modules. Okay? We then get a text heading saying PlayPosit Lewis structure. Notice it's also saying quiz 3. That's because a quiz is going to be associated with having completed that video. Okay? Is it long? You tell me. Yes, it is long. Is it painful? Yes. It is a topic that causes a lot of people stress and problems. And they don't understand the rules that are elaborated in the textbook because the textbook doesn't have rules that apply to all chemistry. They have some kind of backwards rules that sort of work for what we're doing, and that's it. What does the video provide? Rules that work to all chemistry, some of which are clearer than others. Does it require content that we haven't talked about yet? Yes, that's why it's not assigned yet. If it's not assigned, don't stress about it. Okay, you will see it show up as an assignment, and I will tell you, look at the video. Okay? It is long. So when do you think I'll assign you to watch it? Yeah, I'm not well, I am kind of a complete jerk. But I will give you the weekend. I will say, hey, probably really far in advance, this video is going to be due in 2 weeks. You've got several weekends to watch it. Go through and watch it. Remember that pause button? You'll want to take advantage of that. Okay? You'll need to watch it in PlayPosit. Okay? Because PlayPosit is where it records the quiz questions. Okay? Some of those questions are designed to just test, did you remember something? Some of those questions are designed to make you go, what the heck? Okay? Because it's now caused a question. What am I expecting the next day? I expect you to ask me that question. Okay? I'm trying to get you to think about the material. So don't panic if you get questions wrong in PlayPosit. If you want to just watch the YouTube video, because you're like, I don't want it slowing down on me yet, I want to learn it first, you've got the YouTube video. Okay? You also have the PowerPoint video, or PowerPoint file, so you can follow along in the PowerPoint. Every PlayPosit section is going to have the same kind of format. You'll have the text saying what it is, the PlayPosit link, the YouTube link, and then the PowerPoint, so you have access to all of that. Okay? This will be signed over a weekend. We'll then take that Monday to go through and practice Lewis structures, followed by Wednesday being, of course, an exam. If you take a look at the schedule. Okay? After that, yeah, I'm kind of upset about that. I'm positive I told Canvas to not show this. Screw off. Oh, yep, there it is. Locked. Till September 18th. Why? We're not going to talk about it till then. Okay, so I don't want you doing it ahead of then. I don't want you freaking out about it. Primarily because, where did that link come from? Unit 2. Okay? And it's hiding the other thing. You'll see another one of these kind of folders popping up that says lecture videos. Okay? That one will be huge because every single lecture gets posted into there as it's recorded. So it's going to start small and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So at the end of the semester, you're like, I don't remember Lewis structure. Click. Let's look at when we talked about it. Okay? That's the point of those. I feel like I'm swimming. Any other questions? I guess I'm hearing that, or seeing that I look like I'm swimming too. That's even more fun. Questions on what you see within the student view? Because according to this, that's all I got. Okay, leave student view. let's take a look at assignments. Sorry, I don't remember your name. Do you mind if your submission to week 1?
I'll go right in.
Okay,
Paul.
Paul. I'm gonna try.
Shenanigan.
That will probably now cause it to stick. Okay, so when I click to the assignment, I can go to this button called Speed Grader. You don't have that because you're not the teacher. So I open up Speed Grader. Oh, look at that. Madison, good job. You submitted something. Chemistry dates all the way back 600 BCs, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. 2. Next. Didn't submit anything. 2. Why am I entering 2? They didn't submit anything. It was assignment 1, right? Everybody gets credit. Okay? That's how I go through and grade. Let's say it was assignment 2, the one that was due today. Oh, Kristen, sorry, you didn't submit anything. You'll probably get a 0, and then you'll get a comment here. Submit. There we go. What happens? You should see that, and again, that's the student view. I have no idea what happens on the other end. I've been told that you get a little alert saying your instructor commented on something. You do it. I go back in because it'll now show in my gradebook a different color that you've submitted something. I give you the points. This was week 1. So sorry, Kristen, I'm giving you points anyway. Okay? Makes sense. You've seen behind the curtain, and it was ugly. I don't have to click submit. The submit is only for the text. Okay? Everybody okay with that? Are we breathing? Are we happy-ish? Oh God, play pause it. Man, still gotta do this. Go away, dismiss. Monitor. I go to monitor and they show me stupid pictures, I don't know. Fall 17, Chem 130, I click that. Okay. There are currently some videos in there because I wanted something in there for you to see. Okay. Notice they have due dates associated with them. The general chemistry nomenclature, September 25th. That's a ways out. Don't do it yet. September 22nd. That's a ways out. Don't do it yet.
Is there a note earlier than function there? Or?
Within PlayPosit, no. That's where it'll be in Canvas. Okay. And in class for these particularly long ones. Okay. Both of those two, Lewis structure and nomenclature, run at like 55 minutes. Okay. Which is brutal, I know. Okay. In case you couldn't guess, I talk a lot. Okay. So those two videos are really, really long. I don't know how to cut them down. I really don't. There's just a lot of content in there and there's practice in there. Okay? There are other videos that are much shorter. I've tried to keep them less than 30 minutes. Some I've even tried to keep under 20. It depends on the situation.
So this is PlayPosit.
This is PlayPosit. Okay? It will link out from Canvas. And it will say sign in. So you sign in and you watch the video. It'll all record it within Canvas. And then I can go through and say get assignment. Oh, somebody started that. Does anybody care if I pull that up? Okay. Oh, I think you just started it. That's it. So if we go ahead and open that. Question by question breakdown. Wow, they did change things up a little bit. Only one student. Esmeralda, thank you. Okay. She hasn't completed the lesson. Go figure. Okay. But it gives me a question by question breakdown for everybody within the class. I can see which questions everybody got right. When I go through the grade, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to this and find which questions most people got right. I'm going to assign points for that. So if this is a 10-point quiz, I'll look for 3 questions. You got all 3 questions wrong, 8.5 points. You watched the video. You suffered through the video. You might as well get most of the points. Okay? You got all the questions wrong except for the 3 that everybody got right. Full credit. Only grading those questions. Okay? The questions are there to make you pay attention to the video. For those of you that have awesome reading comprehension, this may seem redundant. Because you'll be like, I totally understood that when I read the textbook. Some people do, some people don't. My trend is the average person does not. And they need something else. Okay? That's this something else. I want it done outside of class because that sets it up so that inside of class, what can we do? We can talk about it and find out where your weaknesses are and fix those weaknesses and not go through all the stupid stuff that you already knew. Sound reasonable? Should I build a play pause it thing that's due like next week so you all attempt it and be like, okay, I get the point, that was dumb.
Yes.
It won't be a half-hour one. I'll keep it to 2 minutes.
Yes.
Right? I'll just start naming things and I'll insert a quiz and say, what did Mike just say? Sound reasonable? So that way you get a feeling for what the quiz questions can be like.
Can it be you doing a stand-up comedy and we have to relay?
No. No. Please no. Whoever said that, I like you.
I had a question.
Yes. Oh, about play pause it?
Yeah, when I created that account, it didn't exactly look like that. It was
So,
like
and that's the other part,
marketing.
is I can't see the student view. All I can see is the teacher view. Okay? So what you should be able to do is you'll probably see nothing, and you should pick a class, or find a class, click that, find our class, enroll in that class, and you should see those 3 videos, I think. If not,
Something that would do like separate
talk to
events
me.
and stuff.
Talk to me after class. You signed up into one of the old sections. You didn't sign up into this one. Can we talk? Yeah.
Sorry. I think I already asked this, but you said that if I answer like 3 questions and if I log out and log back in, is it gonna save my place?
Yes, it will save your place. It does. And if it doesn't, again, I think there's that jackhole person that you could send an email to and be like, dude, it didn't work. Be like, dang it, that's really irritating. I'm going to go yell at them because I paid for this. I paid for this. Not you, I paid for this. Okay? That's how much I think it's important.
Are you going to give us like the recommended time when you want us to do